I'd like to call the meeting to order today for the Soldiers Memorial Commission. Do a roll call of the commissioners here. Corinne Barget.
Here.
Okay. And Jeffrey Boyd, he's not going to be here. Freddie Dunlap, I haven't heard from him. Maurice is here.
Here.
Okay. Colonel Hansis.
Here.
And Bruce. Got it. Okay. And Bruce, would you lead us in the pledge?
Had me on there.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone who's come to the meeting this afternoon. The first thing we'll do, I think we have enough people to approve the Thursday, September, I think it was 18th and not 19th, 2019 meeting minutes. Anyone wants to read through them?
Bruce, can you pass it? Are those the minutes there?
Sorry about that.
Here are the minutes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here, minutes. Should we make sure that- Does anybody motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay. The meeting minutes are approved for September 2019. And the next thing on the agenda is the St. Louis Regional Veterans Day observance. And I know there are quite a few people who are participating in different ways, so have Mark on there talking about it. But if anyone else has anything to add, it'd be great.
I put together just real quickly a handout that summarizes some of the key information. I know a lot of you were there. Just when and where, obviously, it was Saturday the 9th at 10:30. It was here. I think there was probably 200 to 300 people there. We had set out 125 chairs on the street level there on our side of Chestnut. Those filled up, and then just sitting up there on the podium level and looking out, there were a lot of people over across the street in the Court of Honor, a lot of people along the fountain area. So I was ballparking attendance at probably 200 to 300. I know a lot of those are probably folks that were pulling double duty, waiting for the parade to be in the parade and for the parade to start, but then also attending the ceremony. So that's good. Just some of the, obviously this is not all of the notable attendees, but some of them. Rocky Sickman, of course, was the keynote speaker and the Grand Marshal. We had a representative from U.S. Senator Josh Hawley's office, a gentleman named Samuel Safa from the St. Louis District, so that was great. And then the mayor brought three guests, Alderman Boyd, Robert Gasco Clemens, and then Otis Williams. Russ Tubino from the Postal Service was here to do the stamp dedication. And then the state treasurer's office, which didn't play a role in the ceremony, but they were across the street. They had a table, I guess, or a booth, whatever you would like to call it. And their issue, and we'll continue this relationship with them, is that they are responsible for dealing with unclaimed property. And so they get a lot of calls from banks and other places that are closing out, like safety deposit boxes. They end up with a lot of military medals. They put together a book, basically a binder with all of these medals in it, and the last known owner, point of contact. Their first step is to send a letter to that known point of contact. Hopefully they hear back, but a lot of times they don't. So they wanted to be here to have a table, basically trying to raise awareness that they were a thing, that this was something that was happening, and that people could search them out to try to find medals of loved ones or whatnot. So we'll continue that relationship going forward. They wanted to be in the building. I told them that, nobody really, we do get attendees obviously coming into the galleries and things like that, but there wasn't a great public space, so we had them on in the court of honor across from the west of the post office, where they had their mobile vehicle set up and they were doing the stamp cancellation and whatnot. So Rocky's association with the observance ceremony led to a lot of press coverage, both nationally and locally. This Leatherneck magazine is a national magazine. Military.com is obviously it's an internet site, so it's national, but it has a national audience as well. And then a number of local places, KMOB, Post-Dispatch, picked up the story and ran with it. So hopefully you saw some of that in the news. Living St. Louis reran a story that we did with Rocky last year around the time of the opening, and he was up here in room 206 with Mike, and they were looking at the stuff that he was putting on display here. And if you haven't seen that yet, it's in the West Gallery, but it's duplicates of his diary, a couple of his diary pages, and then the banner that hung at the airport. So, and when these news stations came and they did interviews with Rocky, especially like the morning of, they actually sat with him in the gallery for a good hour and did an interview with him. So that's all to say that the event got some nice press coverage. And then we were particularly proud of Rocky's comments during his address, and I'll just read this out loud real quickly. Rocky says that I, along with others, would like to extend a sincere thank you to the Missouri Historical Society and Soldiers Memorial Military Museum staff. A few years ago, he was approached about sharing some of my hostage memorabilia with the museum, including my personal diary, the only diary smuggled out of the Iran hostage crisis. These personal artifacts are obviously incredibly special to my family and myself, and I wouldn't lend them out to just anybody. The reassurance that you provided me regarding the protection you'd lend my items, the delicate way you treated my memories, and the thoughtful ways that you used the artifacts and genuine interest you took in preserving this part of history did not go unnoticed. I thank you and I applaud you, each of you, for the many ways that you help us veterans. So we are particularly proud. I think everybody at this table should be proud of that moment. So I'd be happy to take any questions about Veterans Day or comments.
Next year, and I will remember to ask, there weren't seats for the massing of the colors, so they moved them over to the parade starting point. And so we'll have to have specially marked seats for them next year in the rear.
So I did not see that last year, and I've never seen that before historically, but during that moment in the ceremony, Kathy leaned over to me and said they're supposed to march off at this point, and that didn't happen, right? So that was how should that have gone, I guess, or what should have been different at that point?
We didn't have the right seats marked for them.
Okay.
There were a lot of reserved seats, but they were on the front rows, and we need to do it in the back. We'll just get the logistics straight next year.
You know what's a good thing to do is to do a diagram based on what you
We've
did.
had one, and I forgot to send it to him.
Yeah, and just that always helps from year to year.
Basically, it could have just been in the back rows, and it needs to be specially marked for massing of the colors.
I am really sorry that I had to miss that. I was at a funeral, and I'm hoping that we'll again have Rocky Sigmund speak, because I think,
Oh, he did a fabulous
yeah,
job.
I think people would love to.
I kept getting phone calls about the glitches, about something else that was going on for that day. So I didn't get to really hear every bit of it.
And Judith and I need to hear, so it's.
Did you tape him by any chance?
Yeah, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, I
I'd
think
love
the
to.
part of the Marcom team got all that. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great if you could share that.
Yeah, even the transcript of it would be wonderful.
Yeah,
And you
really.
could use it on, for some of those
Katie's
things.
probably doing a blog or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Anything else?
I just want to, I hope that all of you picked up the winter programs brochure downstairs.
He handed it to us.
Oh, good, because I said, make sure everybody who comes to the meeting gets one of these. I only have a few more. But I think Mark and his team are really starting to get out, get it ahead of the calendar and have things. So it would be great if you would take some of these, they are downstairs, and get them around to the offices and other things so we can start building some attendance. But I think Mark is doing a really good job on starting to get some standing programs and some calendar ahead information. And Mark, so thank you for doing that.
Anything else about the parade or the Veterans Day observance that I mentioned?
Seemed to me, as I rode in it, that there were a few more people out this year.
Yeah, I think so too. And it seemed like it was going to be very cold, and it ended up being a beautiful day, so I think that always helps. I think everything went fairly smoothly, and I wondered what happened with the mass thing. And I thought, well, yeah.
So did I.
Sorry. Yeah. So, and no one came up and mentioned anything at the time. I mean, none of the.
Well, there wasn't any reason to disrupt
Right.
whatever else was going on.
Yeah. So, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
I would say, I do want to thank Judith for having us for lunch at the MAC on the Thursday prior. We were able to have a table there and distribute a lot of literature and get more contacts for donations, artifact donations. I thought that was, it remains to be an excellent opportunity to meet some new people and make more connections. And I thought that was really great.
And actually, I think that was the nicest year I've been to a lot. That was really a good program. The
Oh,
speaker was excellent, and the people who were awarded,
Oh my gosh,
they
we
were
had
just, I
fabulous
couldn't think of a
nominees
better
this year.
group. And
Yeah.
old Chief Williams almost had me crying there when I was listening to him talk and that. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's really good.
And Clarence Cherry.
Oh my gosh.
A World War II waist gunner on B-17.
he was
Doing
amazing.
bombing runs over
And everybody.
Germany.
Yeah,
He's
just
quite a
really
guy.
great group. Yeah, and that went very well too. Everything was
Mhm.
really nice.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so we'll count on that every year, as well as the beautiful exhibits that you do in our first floor. We used to call it the art gallery. Now it's the preservation gallery. And then moving that one the next year to the MAC West.
Yeah.
During the time that those are up, I never pass through, but there are not people there looking at them, even when they've been up almost 2 months.
That's great. Yeah, we have a nice little rotation worked out now with the two Macs, and then also over at 1520 in the, I guess the lobby area, you call that, but yeah. So we'll definitely keep that going.
I think your chow and chats are a good opportunity to try to get people from downtown to come over to those. I think last time you said it was mostly the volunteers.
Yeah, volunteers take advantage of it.
So it would be good to get that December 4th date out to the downtown offices. I don't know if the city, Rich, do you have a way of putting that out to city workers? So there's a December 4th chow and chat on caring for historical collections, and a lot of people really like that stuff. They like to know how to take care of medals and sashes and that kind of stuff. So if there's a way you can get that out, those noontime things.
You guys could put it on the city calendar.
The city website.
Yeah, yep, you can do it, yep. Yeah.
I might ask Lee whether she can just post this whole
Yeah.
thing.
Is there anything else?
Gary, the community calendar on SDS. Television game.
Is there anything else? I wanted to leave some time because I thought it'd be a good, today would be a good day to go down and walk through some of the museum exhibits downstairs. And it's probably been a while since some of us have been downstairs. And so I'm hoping that will not take too much longer, but I'd like to do that and have a chance to actually look around a little bit with Mark while we're all together.
Is there something particular that you want to do with that? I'm only checking my schedule.
No.
It's just seeing the.
Yeah, we're just gonna go down and take a look around, so I think, and ask Mark some questions on that, and if you can show us whatever you want to. Are there any questions or new business or announcements, anything like that? Maybe, I thought we could adjourn maybe and then go down there, if that might be easier.
I just have one question about where are we with, the committee that goes through the collection?
Collections committee?
That
Yeah,
position.
that approves or, destroys or whatever.
So the next meeting.
De-accessions.
Thank you.
The next meeting of that committee is, I want to say, January. I don't have the date ready, but it's.
I don't have anything on my calendar.
It's first.
Let me see if I-
Last time we met, it was over at
Yeah, we have
at the History Museum. I don't remember what was happening downtown, but we went there. But
And then at the end of the year, this committee is due the sort of summary of everything accepted into the collections
oh, okay,
this year.
So at our January meeting, we'll receive.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't have anything from,
I know I don't have it on my calendar. I was thinking the other day, it's got to be about time.
Yeah, last year was in December, I know.
Well, didn't it have to be canceled? Because so
Yeah.
many people couldn't make it.
I got notes from that, let's see. I don't think I have anything on my calendar either. What did she say? Yeah. Well, if you guys don't have anything on your calendar, I'm sure I don't either. Maybe we can find out or get that next meeting scheduled for the acquisitions committee. That would be good.
January 16th meeting, but you probably want to have collections before
Yeah, I have collections on my calendar at on the 13th, January 13th at
Okay.
10:30.
Actually, I have it on there too. I do too. So Monday, January 13th at 10:30.
And I have that at MHM again. I don't remember why we're doing that. Do you remember? I don't.
No,
I don't remember why we met there last time, and I don't remember why we said we were
I
going to be.
remember there was something going on. I think somebody was using the space or something, and the meeting got changed from here to there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I have January 13th at 10:30. We'll send out a reminder on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then the commission meeting is that same week on Thursday.
Thank
Yeah.
you for bringing it up.
And we'll be here.
Yeah.
So the next commission meeting, we can.
By golly, I was lying through my teeth. It's on here. And it is in the, listed as the Millstone Room.
I'll check on that. I don't recall why we thought that was a good idea at the time. I have no idea. Sorry, but I'll check on it and make sure that that's what.
Could've just
There might be a reason that we're all forgetting.
Do you
Which for
have
me is
artifacts?
likely.
I don't know, last time maybe it was because there were artifacts up, I don't know. I don't really know what.
I don't either. It seemed to me there was something going on that we needed to forfeit our space to whoever needed it.
Anything
But since I
else?
couldn't even remember that the meeting was on my calendar, I wouldn't count on what I thought I remembered.
And when does the process start? You were saying every year you're going to add more names to the Court of Honor.
Oh, thank you. It starts tomorrow. We found out today. So we've been working with the contractor, and we've been going through. Of course, we announced the list on Memorial Day back in May. We published the list at the same time. It's been published, since then. We received 0 corrections and I believe 5 additions. So we announced 554 names, and there's a total of 559. And so the last couple weeks, Molly and I have been going through the list and looking for anything that looked wrong. And some things with names will pop out at you, and you want to kind of double check those. So we've gone through that, most of that process. We have one more last grouping to go, but they are actually beginning the engraving process tomorrow on those 3 panels. I just found out right before this meeting.
So are we having another?
We'll do something in Memorial
Dedication
Day.
event
Yeah, we've been
or
talking
something?
about what Memorial Day will look like, and that obviously is going to have to be special and have a focus on those memorials. So,
There were, what, 500 names?
yep,
Do they
5.
think they'll have that done by Memorial Day?
Yep, yep, yep. They thought that they would get 2 panels done tomorrow, which I don't know how. That just yeah, that was my exact reaction. I was like, that sounds impossible.
So they cut the stencil and then they just sandblasted it?
Yep.
Yeah, Michelangelo would have loved to have a technique like that.
Yeah. So I was amazed. Yeah, and there's 4 and like a 3rd panel. So basically they'll start tomorrow and they'll be almost halfway done. So it goes. I thought it was going to be a much slower process. I guess I know nothing about the grading things.
Or new technology?
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, literally just right before I walked in here, Molly told me that they had contacted her and they want to begin tomorrow. So.
Anything else? So I think we can adjourn and then go downstairs. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, yes, adjourn.